G'day, I'm Dr. Kate from the Bush Blitz team. We are out here today exploring Cape Range National Park. It's part of the Ningaloo World Heritage Area and we're really excited to be bringing our scientists out here in June. So Cape Range is far northwest WA and it hangs out in this big peninsula and it's in between two climatic zones, so we're really excited about the species that we might find in this area. The landscape comprises flat, hummocky grasslands with these beautiful limestone canyons cut in between the ranges. The limestone layers were laid down in marine environments from 65 million years ago. Limestone is a sedimentary rock made of calcium carbonate, which comes from the shells of millions of tiny little organisms. If you look closely at the layers of limestone, sometimes you can see these tiny little critters that make up the limestone. Some of our other scientists will be out in the ocean looking at the marine life, and then our other scientists will be up on these ridges and down in these valleys looking for a whole range of species like beetles and spiders and the vegetation types that we get in this area. So we're out here this week checking out the whole of Cape Range and the Ningaloo coast to try and find the cool sites for our scientists to get out here and find some new species. Today I'm hanging out with Dr. Nick Teutonic. He is the curator of entomology at the Western Australian Museum. Now, Dr. Nick, what does the curator of entomology actually do?
Well, I guess my job is to maintain and build the insect collection and describe insects from Australia and around the place. So yeah, basically working on insect taxonomy and systematics.
Cool. And what got you into that? How did you find that interest?
I actually didn't used to like insects. So it wasn't that I disliked them. I liked all animals, but I thought I was going to work on birds for a living. And then during my undergraduate at university, I got a job illustrating insects. And I just thought they were so amazing and there's so much diversity and so many weird things going on that I thought I had to work on this because it's bizarre.
Do you still draw them?
Yeah, I do my own illustrations for my own work.
Brilliant. And so you're coming on the Cape Range Bush Blitz. What are you doing to get ready for that trip? And what do you hope to find?
So to get ready for it, we're doing a lot of poring over maps, looking for sites that might be good for collecting in. So a lot of sites in Cape Range are fairly inaccessible or difficult to get to. So we're looking to see how we can get into some of these places, whether we need a helicopter, whether we can four-wheel drive in.
Brilliant.
And see what we can get.
And what makes a place interesting for insects for you? Like, what are you looking for? A wet place, a dry place, or geology? Or...
So for the insects that I work on insects that mostly feed on plants. So I'm looking for the plants first. So if you know that the plants are there, then the insects will follow. So yeah, we often work really closely with botanists, and so they tell us what the plants are, and we'll tell them what the bugs are.
And so you're out there, you're on the field. How do you actually collect these specimens?
We have a whole lot of techniques for catching insects. So we set up traps. Some of them look like a big tent, and they have a jar of ethanol, and the insects fly up and then fall into the ethanol. We use sweeping nets. We need beating nets. We collect things by hand. We use lights at nighttime. So we're working all around the clock. We're collecting at night. We're collecting in the day. We're collecting off of water. We're collecting in caves. We're collecting off of plants, in trees, everywhere.
Brilliant. And why is it important for us to study these specimens?
I guess most people don't realize, but most insects in the world aren't described. So in Australia, we've described about 60,000 species, I think, and the estimates are that there's between 200 and 500,000 more.
Boom.
So it's a drop in the bucket that we know, and this is particularly true for Western Australia.
Yep.
There's been so little work done here, and a lot of the sites are so remote that we haven't had a chance to get there to see what's there.
Brilliant. And so hopefully you're happy for us to have a chat in the field and check out some of these collection methods?
Oh, for sure.
Brilliant. All right, we'll see you out there.
All right.
Today I am here with Dr. Glenn Moore, who is the curator of fishes at the Western Australian Museum. What exactly does the curator of fishes do?
I guess my job is mostly understanding which species live where and why.
Cool.
That's kind of what I
And
what
how did you get into that?
Well, actually, when I first started as a young fella, I actually wanted to be an entomologist like Dr. Nick.
Cool.
But when I was 17, I learned to dive, and the first time I started swimming with a fish, that was it.
Sweet.
I turned.
Loved it.
I loved them.
Never looked back.
Never looked back, no.
So you're coming on our Cape Range Bush Blitz. What sort of things are you doing to get ready for that, and what do you hope to find out there?
I've been going up to the area for 30 years now. So every time I go up, I see something different, and it's always new stuff to find. So I spend a lot of time now going back, looking through the old records, finding out what we do know from the area, and then finding out the sort of specimens that we might have on these shelves that don't yet have a name, and we need a bit more information about them. Cool. So trying to figure out where the best places to go to collect those sort of things and look for them. So that's a lot of the time before a trip is spent doing that.
Brilliant. And then what does the collection look like for you? Like, what, are you out there with a fishing rod, or you're under the water in scuba gear, or?
Yeah, so we'll do a few different things. We'll dive on scuba, and when we're doing that, we're very selective, and we'll target specific habitats. And collect things by hand. I use chemicals that make the fish go to sleep, so I can catch them easier, and I can check and make sure I'm getting the right ones.
Sleepy fish.
That's right. Yeah.
With a net, are you like there?
Yeah, with a net or in my hand. Sometimes a jar. It takes a bit of practice underwater, but you get used to it.
That's great.
And then on the intertidal areas, so when the tide's out, then we'll go and in the rock pools and things like that, and we can collect fish in there as well.
Brilliant. Oh, that's so cool.
It's great fun.
Well, we're excited to have you out there, and we can't wait. And we'll do a little video from the field, hey?
Perfect. Look forward to it.